One day, Coyote saw a group of lizards playing a game. The lizards were gathered on top of a big, steep hill. It had one sloping side. The lizards were taking turns sliding down that steep slope on small, flat rocks. Each time after the slide was done, the slider picked up his flat rock at the bottom of the sandy slope and carried it up the hill on his back. Coyote trotted over and intently watched. The lizards pretended not to see him. They went on with their play as if he were not there. Coyote wanted to be noticed. He moved closer and closer and began talking to the lizard. "You seem to be having lots of fun," he said. "What do you call your game?" "We call it sliding," one lizard said. "It looks fun. Can I join you?" All the lizards turned and looked at him coldly. Just then, an old lizard said, "You are not a lizard. Go play your own games. You don't know ours." "But I can learn," Coyote insisted. "Really, it looks very simple. I would just stand on the rock and slide down." "Let me try it just once. This game is very dangerous." "You'd get killed," the old lizard said. "The first time you would be all right, but the second time you would get killed." Coyote didn't believe a word of it. He kept begging the old lizard to let him try just once. "Well, just once, cousin," said the old lizard, hearing the coyote begging. "You can't smart off. Ride the flat rock, but don't ask to ride the big one." Of course, Coyote intended to ride the big one. He decided to try the little flat rocks to show them how he could do it. He was told he could ride once, but he wanted to ride more times and ignored the old lizard. Again, the old lizard said, "I happen to see you chasing cottontails and kangaroo rats, all sorts of creatures." He picked up the flat rock and trudged back up the hill with it again. At the top of the hill, he jumped on the flat rock again, and down he flew, repeatedly several times. The old lizard kept saying, "You were to ride the flat rock once." Again, Coyote ignored the old lizard. Coyote found the big, large rock, hoisted it on his back, and up the hill he went. The rock was heavy. Coyote almost dropped the big rock. He almost slipped. He continued panting all the way up the hill. Coyote could hear the old lizard. "I warned you. You were told not to use the big rock, but your life is your own. If you want to risk it in this way, it's your own fault. If you get smashed flat." Coyote was not afraid at all. Coyote was not afraid at all. He ran out onto the rock, tipped it a little, and once more he was sliding very rapidly down the hill. All the lizards and the old lizard knew what would happen, and they were afraid for Coyote. The fun slide increased into a higher speed. The big rock hit a small rock halfway down the hill. The big rock flipped into the air, taking Coyote with it. Coyote was so frightened out of his skin, his ears were flopping, his paws were clawing in the air. He wasn't at all proud of himself anymore. He hit the ground and rolled over. He saw the big rock coming down on top of him. He screamed, "Help! Help! I should have listened. I'm going to be smashed flat, just as the old lizard said." The little lizards looked down upon him, saying, poor foolish Coyote." The old lizard said, "He's no friend of mine, but still it makes me sad to see him smash so flat." The little lizard said, "And he got flattened right in the middle of our runway." Another young lizard said, "He's going to be too heavy for all of us to move him." "It would be simpler to bring him back to life," said another lizard. "Then he can leave without us having to move him." "You have a very good idea," said the old lizard. "Come on, boys." In a single file, they made a tight circle around the flattened coyote so they could work their magic in private. In their own secret manner, they brought Coyote back to life. "Now go your own way, Coyote," the old lizard told him. "And after this, don't try to play lizard games. We don't want this to happen to you again." Coyote was glad to be alive. He got up and dashed for home as fast as he could run. This is the end of the story. Coyote and the Lizard story moral. There's a lesson to be learned here. Children should listen to their elders and not be so proud of themselves that they think they can do anything they please. Snip, snap, snap. Our story's out for one winter story.